hi everyone. I think that we can start. My name is Naomi Thompson, and I'm the Vice President Legal Solutions at a company called Exigent. I will briefly introduce Exigent to you so that you just have an understanding of where it is that I come from. Exigent is what we call a new law and alternative legal services provider. So we do consulting, technology, as well as legal services to organizations as well as law firms. We have proprietary technology that Exigent uses in order to help our clients really just operate at a much more efficient and a way in which they're able to find answers that is not necessarily available from the onset. So today I was asked to speak about branding for lawyers. Just a disclaimer, as I am a lawyer, or like I call myself, a reformed lawyer, I am not a branding or a marketing expert. I'm purely speaking to you today from personal experience that I've had in how I had to brand myself and work with our marketing teams in terms of branding our solutions and reaching our clients. In addition to that, I have completed my MBA, in which we have done extensive marketing and branding courses, which I apply to my daily job every single day. And if you have any questions, I think you please just send me a note. I hope I'll be able to see it because right now all I see in front of me is the screen. So what will we be talking about today? We'll start with what is branding, why it's important. And as attorneys and lawyers across Africa, we always have to worry about what our professional code of conduct says. Then I'll spend quite a bit of time around digital platforms, content strategy tools, and branding on a budget. Sure. So why is branding important for us as lawyers? Our personal brand, as well as our business brand, is about really being deliberative in how we get others to perceive us, whether that is to set ourselves up as an expert in a particular field, or whether it is drawing additional clients and customers. And I think that really is for us the ultimate tool to use in order to grow our business. I use LinkedIn very often in order to grow my business and to have a reach and speak about what is important to our organization. In branding, you talk about, or you're able to position yourself around what makes us unique. Why are we different? Because really, there are a dime a dozen lawyers. There are 1,000 M&A lawyers, hundreds of litigation attorneys. Why should a client use us? Why would they, when they look at multiple of experts in the field, choose to work with us? And this is where you're able to use your brand to be able to attract those kind of clients. Then, why is branding important? You're able to present your unique selling proposition, telling people why they should come to you instead of your competitors. You're able to differentiate yourself from the competitor, whether you're able to say, I use technology in order to deliver a quicker, faster turnaround time, whether it is you are cheaper than the other person, which is never a good branding strategy, but it could be one that people use, or what your purpose and your impact is. And if we look up around today, so a lot of millennials are becoming our buyer persona. They are very curious and very interested in what our purpose is. So what is the purpose of a brand? We see Nike, for example, as a company and as a brand during the issues that was happening in the USA. Nike was very articulate about what are they doing to address the social ills. And that is what a lot of clients are asking of brands. And we as individuals become our own brands. And what are we saying about topical issues that impacts the society in which our businesses operates in? What is brand perception? The brand perception is able to build that awareness of you as a professional or of you as your law firm, making people want to learn about you. So you've got to create that curiosity around who you are and what your brand is standing for. And how are you communicating that value that you will be able to deliver to your clients or to your stakeholders? How does brand compliance link in with our professional codes of conduct? So this was a difficult question for me to answer because each different society, each different authority has got different expectations. However, there was a common thread that I was able to determine throughout all the different professional codes. Always make sure that you are in compliance of what the rules and the regulations says around the ethics and your professional responsibility. Do not set unrealistic expectations. So do not put on your social media or on your website or part of your branding anything that is not factually true, that cannot be verified. And do not forget to add disclaimers. Yes, we are lawyers after all. Avoid misleading and false claims. And I know this is a very tough one because sometimes we have testimonials from our clients that says, I have achieved 50% cost savings or I have achieved that. But how are you able to truthfully market that without being misleading? And always ensure that we apply our ethical and truthful code that we apply to how we deliver legal services, to how we market our brand. Then I will speak a little bit about the different marketing strategies that we have and which we're able to brand ourselves. So inbound marketing, what is inbound marketing? It is a strategy that we utilize to be able to pull a consumer, a client, or a potential stakeholder to our business or to ourselves. It's a way in which you want to engage with the prospect, you want them to ask more questions, and you want them to be curious about your brand. So I will talk later about methods in which you're able to do that. But one example is if you write an article about something that is very topical in the market or something that you are very passionate about, and you're able to maybe give them a snippet about what it is that you will be speaking about. And then you link them to your website in order for you to be able to nurture that lead and nurture that prospect. So at different forms of inbound marketing, I will really focus on two of those. So the 5 elements of inbound marketing would be search engine optimization, social media marketing, content marketing, email marketing, and then pay-per-click marketing. The ones that I'll be focusing on today is really social media and content marketing. Those are easy to do. They are your quick wins. And those are the ones for anyone that may not be a marketer in the room that looks at me and say, but why do I have to worry about branding? Why do I have to worry about marketing? I will show you ways in which you're able to do this really easily and very effectively without being an expert. So now looking at social media marketing, why do we use this? Why is this important? You ask yourself, which platform is right for my audience? Where do you think that anyone looking for a lawyer or anything with regards to legal innovation or legal technology will go to? It will most probably not be TikTok, because that is not the platform for you. But it could be LinkedIn, could even be Twitter. Twitter is a very quick and easy way for people to consume content and information. Which tone of voice do you want your brand to say? Is it very controversial? Or are you really just being empathetic? What is that voice that you wanted to have? What is your optimal frequency? When do you post? How do you post? What type of content for which platform? You're definitely not able to put an entire blog on Twitter, but you can post a blog on LinkedIn. Social media is not a bubble that will burst anytime. It is here to stay, and it's for us to really leverage it and make the best of the platform for us. So why use digital platforms? We use that to reach more customers much faster. Think about prior to any social media or any digital platforms, it was very difficult for us to grow our client base. We needed to have large databases in which we're able to reach new potential clients. Advertising at some point in South Africa in the legal industry was totally not an option, but now it has really opened up new ways in which we're able to grow our brand and grow our potential clients. Looking at choosing which platform would be right for us, I've just quickly put up for us an illustration of where we would find most of the audience, because for you to be able to determine what would be the best platform to use, it is useful to understand where to find it. Facebook has got 1.3 billion users. It tells you the percent, the age group. So yes, that definitely is within our target market, age of 25 to 54. It is consumers of legal services. Facebook is very good for building relationships, building loyalty, but the downside of it, it has a limited reach. You'd often find people on Facebook more as a social platform rather than really looking for who they can use that will best serve them in a legal environment. Twitter has got 600 million users. It has an age range of 18 to 29. It's really good for your quick conversions, small little articles, and also to manage any public relations. The downside of Twitter, it only has 140 characters. So we're very limited as to what we really can say about our organization, about ourselves, and our brand. Pinterest, I won't spend too much time on it because it is very much more for scrapbooking, very picture orientated, etc. YouTube has got 1 billion users, all ages, and this is an excellent platform for you to utilize. I have found and seen, even in personal usage, that that small little videos or how-to videos or really educational type of videos are a way in which you are able to distinguish your brand from others. You're able to give small businesses, for example, they do not know what type of legal contracts may be applicable to them, how to set up a business. Sometimes in order to attract more clients, you need to be able to give them something. And videos, clips, YouTube is really a good way for you to be able to build your brand. It is, however, resource intensive, but I have found some really great resources. I work with small to medium agencies that is able to do videos via Zoom. You can just record the session, for example, do a little bit of editing around it, and we have a great content that we're able to utilize. LinkedIn has got 600 million users between the age of 30 and 45. It is great for articles and news. This is really your best tool for business development, especially around B2B, but business to business, but really also business to consumers. This is where people trust some of the content that is being posted on LinkedIn. There's a great way in which you can engage. Some of the best ways to engage around LinkedIn is to put some of your content in the form of questions. What has been your biggest challenge in setting up a business? For example, do you believe that legal services is accessible to all of us? Whatever that question is that relates to your brand, to be able to post some of those questions, you get a great engagement and you're able to build the relationships and build network from your LinkedIn profile. Then we've got Instagram. Instagram is also very good for lead generation, probably a little limited in terms of legal services, although of late I have seen an increase in legal startups, legal innovation companies using the live version for Instagram to be able to engage with their audience. So if that is how you'd like to do it, cost effective, set up a time, let your audience know that you'll go live on Instagram and you're able to have brilliant discussions. even on LinkedIn, the live version on LinkedIn, in particularly through COVID session, I have myself found extremely useful, where I'm able to listen to other thought leaders, invite other thought leaders onto your platform, because you really want to be able to get that cross utilization. My followers with your followers, we're able to create an audience that both of us are able to reach. So those are some of the cost-effective and easy ways for you to be able to reach some of your audience. Why is social media important? 56% of total sales in the world comes from some social media interaction. So it definitely is an area that we cannot and should not ignore. 45% of global penetration rate for social media. It is now almost an inextricable part of our lives. Think about our friends, our partners, our children. Everyone is on social media in some form or the other. And do not forget, WhatsApp is also considered as a social media platform. I may not have touched upon it here, but it is another way in which businesses use to be able to communicate and reach their audience. So how do I go? How do I start? How do I start setting up my platforms, which I am 100% sure that 90%, if not more of you, already have your digital platforms set up. It really is about utilizing that and making the best of your platforms. I can see some comments in the chat. I will ensure that we finish much earlier. So if you have any questions, we can engage around it. We start with researching where our target will be. I've given you a snapshot of all the different platforms and where some of our target audience might be, but a more in-depth research for our countries, our specific area of the law, what may resonate with our audience. Look at where they are and focus, number one, primarily on where you think you would be able to have the best reach. Then you do the rollout of your campaigns. Either start a blog, join a network, write some articles, but leverage all of that information back to your platforms and back to your digital platform. Then you monitor results. What we don't measure, we can't track. So being able to understand what are some of the engagements on it? Are people interested in what you're saying? What if I post in the morning, do I get more interest? Or if I post in the evening, is it in the afternoon that I would be able to reach my target audience? So the research around how we engage with this is critical. We create our platform, or for most of us, we do have a platform. Ensure that your platform speaks to your brand. What do you want people to understand about you? We want to be able to have a professional brand. I am professional. I would be able, you can trust the advice that you would receive from me, and you would be able to communicate your value through your profile. I haven't added it here, but I can definitely send any of you that's interested in it. Around LinkedIn, I often see some people that engage with me with a picture that may not necessarily depict their brand. Your headline, does your headline say who you are? You're an attorney, you specialize in M&A transactions, or you're an attorney that is interested in innovation and technology. What is that headline of your profile saying? So if you already have a profile, ensure that it reflects your brand. You have your target audience, you have researched them, now you engage with your audience. Great way to engage with them. Naomi, I have written this article. I understand that you are interested in branding for lawyers. I thought this article may be of interest to you. That is one way that you engage. You post your article, you ask some questions around it. If anyone likes your article or if anyone engages with you, you then connect with that person and you build a relationship. Remember, social media is not just about making money and about growing your targets, but it's really about meaningful engagement, and it's about being authentic in the way we engage with our audience and the way we grow our network. Engage, 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 engage. I cannot tell you that more. If we post today and we do not look at who has commented, liked, or shared our post and engage with them and come back 2 months later, we have really lost the value of a potential connection and a way in which we can build our brand. How do we ensure that we speak to our different audiences on the different platforms? You would see someone on Twitter really wants something very quick, very short, 3 lines, 40 characters, and they move on. However, someone on Instagram wants something much more visual. So how do we adapt our strategy that applies to all different platforms? And that's why it can sometimes be overwhelming. So choosing 2, maximum 3 that you feel would reach your audience the best way, that you are more than welcome to really focus on that. For me, on my personal brand, I focus on LinkedIn as a professional engagement and Instagram as just a way to reach additional audience, and which I'm able to give them a little bit more personal engagement rather than a business engaging touch. Here are some of the platforms that you are able to use. I have touched on them earlier: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok if you really have to. I myself have not tried TikTok yet. I think I need to have a Gen Z to really teach me how to leverage TikTok. So how do you build your brand on social media? Know what your company does. You define your area of speciality. There is nothing worse than not being able to communicate that message to your audience clearly. For me, it is about legal innovation, technology, and process improvement. That is our specialty. That is where I can make an in-house counsel, a CEO's life much more easier. What is our unique value proposition? We provide answers to businesses that they do not even know they have. So that what for you makes you unique. And so it's not always easy. I can also send you, if you like, some questions around how do you build some of your USPs? How do you build your unique value proposition? When you know your audience, you learn about them and you tailor your efforts around your target audience. If your target audience is a Gen Z, the 18-year-old, you will not reach them on LinkedIn writing a blog about how you can grow or how you're able to identify M&A transactions and who's the best lawyer that can help you through that. Then you narrow down your message, clear, simple, and to the point. Always look at what problem are you solving for your target audience and narrow that communication to your target audience. Consistency is key. Every interaction that you have needs to be able to drive the same message through. Whether you are speaking on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and show consistency of messaging, your format will always be different, but the message that you're trying to get across will always be the same. And one of the key elements on any marketing spend or on any branding opportunity is authenticity. Your audience will always know when you are not being authentic and when you are really just about building your brand to increase revenue or to increase your market share. So authenticity goes a long way. How are you able to update your social media profiles? Invest in more social media ads. That is, if you are along the journey of beyond really just a beginner of using digital media platforms. Be more active on your social media responses. We live in an instant area, an instant gratification time. People want responses immediately. They do not want to wait. If they've asked you a question around what services do you have, how you can help them, they're always looking for a quick response. and be seen on your social media platforms. The second area that I will focus on is content media. So remember I said inbound marketing, you have the 5 elements of it. One is social media. The second is content media that I will be focusing on. The goal of content media is to be able to communicate why are we doing what we're doing. How are you able to drive your content media? Through emails. You have an email database that you've already built up over the time. You have a website for your organization, for your business. And now you are just increasing that brand recognition or that brand exposure. What are some of the types of content that you can create? Thought leadership. This for us is really key in the legal industry. I think we really have a lot of insights that we're able to provide businesses. If I just think back when COVID started, there were so many regulations that was changing in different countries. Everyone had to start working offline. Companies wanted to know, what did this mean for virtual engagement with my employees? What does this mean for employment for employees? We have so much of that answers. How are we able to convert them? It's about giving and taking. Companies now know you are a leader in employment law. You have posted some thought leadership articles on LinkedIn, blog posts that you have created, case studies that you can write, white papers. White papers is a little bit longer than a blog post. White papers really goes around talking about facts and figures and how are you able to achieve certain outcomes. Ebooks is a great way in which you're able to create content. Video contents, podcast has become extremely popular over the last few years, but this year in particular. Some of these may take a little bit more time. It may require a lot more investment, but it's really an investment in the long term of your brand, of your organization, and of building where it is that you believe that you need to be. To be able to leverage the content marketing, you always use all your platforms, online and offline, works together. You are posting an article on LinkedIn, but that links it back to your website. You drive people to be able to go to your website. You can send an email campaign to your entire database, letting them know, I've just written this brilliant piece. It is on our website. I think it's of interest to you. I think it would help you in your organization. Why don't you read this? And I would be very happy to discuss this with you if you would like to take that conversation further. So think always about how you're able to leverage what you're doing across all sectors of your business. Content that you can publish, your blog post can then go onto your website. It could go onto LinkedIn. Same for your short videos. And you can even create little adverts around all the content that you have created. On LinkedIn, you could have a little video speaking about, I've just posted a blog about 123. I will be speaking at the Africa Innovation Summit. Whatever it is, you're able to create small pieces of content that links to the bigger piece. Like I mentioned earlier, what happens offline always happens online. Consistency of your brand is always key. You cannot have the one speak, and it happens with companies sometimes, large brands. The marketing team has posted beautiful articles, beautiful blogs. They meet with the company offline, and no one really knows what was online. So always ensure that there is that authenticity and there is that connection between the two. How do great brands deal with consumers? Because really, we engage with our clients or consumers if you're in the product industry. They always interact with the followers. They respond very quickly to any inquiries. They are swift to track any request or any ask that the client has asked for. They always provide quick and constant consumer updates. They always deliver on their promise, and they always keep their customers or their clients delighted. What is the purpose of all of this? We do so much, we build brands, we post on LinkedIn. What is the ideal outcome for that? It is about networking, and it is about networking and building that network with the right people that will add value to what you are ultimately trying to achieve. Networking is really a topic completely on its own, but I will be amiss if I do not speak about it and add it to this particular set of the ultimate outcome of why we spend this time to really invest in our brand. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to send me any questions that you may have.